My name's Tom Beezer. I'm a lawyer. I love cycling. Love it a lot. Always been interested in bikes. Tom Warmerdam's bike is special because I ordered that bike at a point in my life where I was in crisis. Sophie had just been diagnosed with cancer. It was all very awful. Had the awful news about Sophie, wanted to do something that would be a focus and a joy, and I learned that just across the road in the office in Southampton was Tom Warmerdam, Demon Frameworks. I popped across the road to see him and sat with him and talked through, you have to go and persuade him that he does want to make one for you, because that's not certain, and then wait.
Depends how long it really takes overall. And I know from my historic outings that time is elastic.
Yeah, time is elastic. And on the day I pick up the drawing to the day you pick up the frame, we're talking 2 to 3 months.
If I said I don't believe you, and that's fine, what would you say?
So that's fair enough. Yeah.
In life at the moment, there's an immediacy about most things, and with the internet, you can probably get most things immediately. If you want one of Tom's bikes, you can't. I learnt that Tom is A, an extremely nice person, and B, someone who can't be rushed, and he will do what he wants to do in his own time, and that completely worked for me. It's like a constant Christmas Eve. There's something good on the horizon coming, you just haven't got it yet.
I do love this bike.
My name's Tom, and I am Demon Frameworks. I build bikes. I build traditional steel bikes, but they're a bit different to what other people build. I build my own thing and have my own vision. I really enjoyed the traditional way of making bikes. So you just need to look carefully where there's gaps around the edges and then use a drift. It's not the easiest way and it's not the quickest way, but ultimately it's the most satisfying. Not just because I get to use my whole skill set when doing it, also because I think the end product is just far more interesting. A lot of my design is influenced by Art Deco and also industrialism. I like brutal architecture. I think that's where all the lines and slots came from. But yeah, that's where you can see the big sort of Art Deco arches, like the Chrysler building. The sort of thing that I'm pretty much just focusing on is the logo design is called Hermes. So you've got the stylized wing design like Hermes, the messenger of the gods in Greek mythology. So I thought that was pretty cool. Best customers are patient, know what they want, but allow creative freedom. It's as simple as that. Someone like Tom is an ideal customer. He just allowed me to make what I wanted to make for him. So he's just a really genuinely nice guy. When I first came up with the design, I wasn't expecting it to be a one-off. But I just felt that it just seemed right just to only make one of them for him.
I ordered a lugged brushed steel frame. What he decided to make was a white enamel and copper frame, which is unbelievably beautiful.
In my mind, it could be a black. We'll come back to the type of black because I know you've got some thoughts about that. The rear triangle is either brushed or polished.
Okay, yes.
I trust him absolutely, but it's not what I ordered, but I am very pleased with it. He did an amazing job and I love it. So each bit, even down to the brake cables, is thought through and has a reason. And so I've sat with him and understood why he's chosen a red Ahurst crank, for example. And so it was down to that level of detail that Tom went to, which I absolutely love. And so that bike only goes out on the sunniest and driest of days, where I'm guaranteed not to have to do a full clean, because I'd never ever want it to get dirty. I don't want to use it because it's amazing and untouched. But then another part of me says that's ridiculous. You've waited all this time for a bike, you've got to use it. And so I have that internal tension on every sunny day, and most sunny days, I'll still pick one of the other bikes to take out. And now he wants to build a second bike for me, and he's emailed me just recently, which troubles me because that'll be a second bike that I don't use or have trouble using.
I'd like to build in one of my lug bikes with spectacular paint. So we'll see how that works.
I think maybe that's the best example of it.
Head tube and a rear triangle brushed.
Yeah, I'd like a brushed rear triangle.
Brush metal here, and then brush metal here,
Yeah.
and then brush metal in the stripes. Yeah, and it works. It's going to be great. It's going to be good.
Well, you did what you want,
And you get something nice.
and I get something nice.
Yeah. Cheers, Tom. Very good to see you again.
Yeah, brilliant.
Good luck at work.
Yeah, needs to stop.
Take care, Tom. Cheers.
When I met Tom for the first time in 2013, I completely picked up that here we had a sort of perfectionist and artisan who wasn't in it for the money and who wasn't looking to build a global brand. You get his love that's poured into that piece of metal. You don't get someone he's training. And him bringing people on could be an entirely appropriate and sustainable business model. That might be fantastic, but that's not what he does. You get Tom.
When I first had the idea of making bikes or a bike company, I thought I'd design the bikes and have them made. But then I thought, if I'm going to be designing bikes, I really ought to know how to make bikes. So I learned how to make bikes. Yeah, my grandfather, he was a cabinet maker. And not just a cabinet maker, he made all sorts of wonderful things. He also made etchings. He was a proper artist. He was sort of my inspiration for wanting to work with my hands. Because my father doesn't work with his hands, nor did my mother. So the whole working with your hands thing, it just skipped a generation. I hope it doesn't skip another one. I'd like my children to be able to learn how to do that. My bikes are my own creative expression wrapped up in a functional form, I suppose, if you really want to boil it down. I am Tom. I'm a frame builder and a family man, just trying to make ends meet, support my kids, put food on the table, and have a good time whilst doing it.